have the pleasure of introducing something that's one of the coolest things in burner culture right now. The Catharsis on the model speaks for itself, but I'm just going to introduce the gentlemen that are, some of the people that are helping facilitate that. It's a large group, but they're speaking on behalf of all of them. So Haferd, he's a civil rights lawyer. Eidinger is a DC activist for 25 years. He's been arrested 19 times. And Josh Carroll recently hosted a queer dance party in front of Mike Pence's home.
So, Sauce, you're an impossibly nice dude, so I wouldn't expect this of you. But if this is a spoof, you've got us up here now thinking that Burning Man's going to let us talk about our politics on stage. So this is a spoof. I'm blaming you, but I want the record to reflect that we saw it coming. So. This is a story about a dream. Birthing a dream whose time had come to be born, and then fighting like hell to protect and resuscitate that dream from the powers that should resist it. It's a dream about bringing cathartic dance all night long around effigy fire to the heart of a crumbling empire. It's a dream about a local burn on a national stage. And it's a dream and a story that's still in its opening chapters, and one that we hope you all might be a part of. So there's this patch of land, scrumptious land, in the center of Washington, D.C. Yeah, our nation's capital, right there. It's called the National Mall. And there's always this activism going on, political demonstrations going on. You might have seen this picture before. Yeah, that national. So the three of us and Michael Verdon, we walked into the National Park Service office and said, look, we'd like to do a vigil for healing on the National Mall. Seems reasonable enough. What do you think they said? Okay, where's your permit? Okay, fine. We filled out our permit, we submitted our permit, and in that permit, we said, okay, this vigil, it's not exactly like other vigils that you're used to seeing. We want to prepare you. It's a demonstration, but our demonstration involves burning a temple in front of the White House. And amplified sound all night long, please. So what do you think they said to that?
Yeah!
Hell fucking no.
Let's not just do it.
But what you're about to see is the result of a lot of magic, a little luck, and burners not hearing go even when we should have.
this thing. So Catharsis on the Mall is a burner-inspired event that's free to the public. It's completely open. There's no tickets. There's no fences. And it's got an explicit political message based on the location. Basically, yeah, in this time when the default world seems to be going more and more crazy, we feel like it's a really powerful moment to bring our burner culture more into the public awareness. And this event really is about bringing our values to one of the hearts of the empire and one of the front lines of the struggle for social justice and social change. The other thing that I really love about this event is that it is political, but it's not about winning. It's not about opposition or a narrative of conflict. It really is about catharsis. It's about healing. It's about reconnection. And it's about our immediate experience and healing through immediate experience, participation, coming together with our community. So it includes explicit political speech. It's a very spiritual vigil with a lot of spiritual elements. It's an art showcase, a community gathering. You saw some pictures of the effigy burned, and of course, a big-ass dance party. So how did we get here?
Well, you know how these things start. You're unloading your shipping container from Burning Man. You're covered in dust and wishing you were back at Burning Man. And we start to think, how can we bring that family, community experience just to our everyday lives, the regional mission. But how can we do it that's incredibly inclusive? So it turns out I wasn't the only one thinking this, and there were a lot of other people, and who had the same idea of having a Burning Man on the National Mall, a place that actually many years ago had a huge bonfire to celebrate the end of World War I. A 6-story high pyramid was burned on the National Mall. We told the Park Service that. We did our research. So we got together and we started to develop this, and really it was in the backdrop of legalizing marijuana in the nation's capital.
Hallelujah!
I was the proposer of the initiative, and we worked for a couple of years, breaking our backs to get this thing passed. And it passed by 70%, and Congress was going to overturn it. And a lot of drama was going on. Anyway, we knew that if we were to have a temple burn on the mall, it could actually heal from the drug war, and that was the theme for the first year. It was an amazing temple built by Michael Verdon. I wish he'd stand up. I haven't seen him this morning. There he is. He built a temple, as you can see here, that revealed a jail cell on fire. And inside that cell, we burned people's court records, their arrest records. We burned all the petitions of the people who signed the petition to put it on the ballot to change the law, because we didn't need their signatures anymore, and they could participate, just supporting the law. And a couple thousand people came that first time. This movement here, we're going to run out of time. So, Ron, we talk about
Beautiful temple. Just some of you are probably still wondering, so how exactly did you do this? So the cool thing about the way we ended up being able to fit this into a permit is, again, we relied on First Amendment grounds, not just political speech, but also spiritual exercise, which gives us a First Amendment basis that the Park Service has recognized for our message and for the ritual on the temple fire. So we're really excited about that. And because it's a demonstration permit, that means that we don't pay for the park police or the exorbitant insurance fees and other stuff that you can sometimes incur with a normal event permit. It's a First Amendment demonstration. That's the basis for our being there. So it's open to the public, and the law enforcement who we work with are essentially just doing their jobs and working with us to make sure we can express that. Josh, do you want to talk a little more about that?
So yeah, it's been quite a journey working with National Park Service, working with the DC Fire and EMS, and some lessons that we've learned from that. Really, just like with stuff that we do on Playa, it really is all about relationships with them as well. And it's easy to get into a narrative of these bureaucrats don't want us to do these things, and they're trying to, shut us down because of the man. yeah, just recognizing that there are people that are trying to do their jobs and they don't necessarily understand why we're doing all the things that we're doing. But if we can work with them with the requirements that they have, that they'll let us do a lot of stuff and be excited. Particularly like some of the fire department guys that we worked with were amazing and we're stoked about what we were trying to do and really excited about it. And also that the stuff that they care about is not necessarily the stuff that we would expect. And that was a big surprise for us. We thought that we were going to have to be fighting about the temple burn, which we did some, and doing the big crazy sound and all these kind of things. And for the Park Service, like they were kind of like, whatever, that's fine. Just don't trample on the grass. Just make sure if the grass is okay, you guys are good. Seriously. And so that was a big lesson for us in terms of like, if we can kind of give them this and really work with them on these things, then a lot of the other stuff is kind of, which, yeah, I guess it is what it is. So, yeah, so one, I mean, it still ended up being very expensive. We did the art cars y'all saw, and we had to put down this matrix flooring for that, which is kind of like what they have on football fields, so that there's photosynthesis and the grass is okay and doesn't get trampled. And,
Hey, enough! Stop avoiding the real issue. Why are you wearing these crazy Smurf condom hats?
all right, Adam, why don't you talk about that?
So the question from the audience is, isn't it cult and why are we wearing the Smurf hats? Okay, so I gotta answer this question for you all. These are called Phrygian caps, spelled with Phrygian, Phrygian, and it's a liberty cap. And it goes back to the founding of this country. You see me here actually locked to a liberty pole, which is how the revolution started. This is in front of the Capitol a couple of years ago when Congress was threatening to overturn our election, literally overturn an election, because we voted to legalize, and you can see we're locked with steel around it. This is activism, folks. This is what I do. And this is also very culture. This was a maker culture that built this liberty pole. We cut the tree down. It was an invasive species, so don't worry. And we went there at 4:20 in the morning, and we made these caps. And the reason why is because it's actually an ancient symbol that goes to freedom. Can you hit the next slide? Oh, not that one. This one, yes. So you see here, that's the Senate seal, and you see the hat. A lot of Americans don't know why it's there. Can you hit another one? This is the U.S. Army seal. See it everywhere. Check out the date. It's not 1776. It took a revolution first to change the country, to write the new Constitution. So that's when it started. It started with these caps. And I guess I'll just leave it at that. We make these hats though, we don't sell them, and people get them from engaging with their activism, so they have to earn the hat. So if you see someone wearing them, they've done something. Yeah, so So 2016 really was a continuation of the first year, except we had a suicide by a veteran, Berkeley Wright, the first year we did this. He did it at home. But a lot of us knew that night it was happening, and it was a terrible night in some ways, so we needed healing. So this Iraq War veteran prompted us to make PTSD the theme, and especially getting medicines approved for people with PTSD that Congress could help with. And we built a temple that was not approved. Ultimately, there was a lawsuit, which Roman will talk about in a minute, but we did do a triple effigy. Michael did again, a sun, a moon, and an egg. And it looked like, can you hear our signal from the Washington Monument when it was burning? It looked like a full signal. And you have to see the photos, I guess. And the Abraxas Dragon came all the way from California for its second visit to Washington, D.C. And really broke new ground, showed that we can build a permanent structure and turn it into a mobile stage. And this was something that the regulations had to be modified for us by the Park Service. So they didn't allow the 30-foot structure, they did allow this. And we had a triumphant ride to the Capitol. We marched in front of it. That was a request of the police, is not to ride it at first. I think they wanted to see if it would fall apart or something. But when we got there, we boarded, took the photo, and then continued to ride it back. And we realized we could have 100 cars behind us. So, Josh, you want to talk a little bit about the payment?
Yeah, so in addition to these big parts of the event, there was a lot of little stuff going on, a lot of local folks, regional burners that came down, and it was incredibly diverse. We're right there on the mall, there's passersby coming by between the World War II Memorial and the Washington Monument, being like, what is this, like engaging in different ways. So we had a lot of speakers talking about policy and activism. We had this year a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist come and talk about his experience being deployed in Iraq. We had local musicians, hip-hop, funk and soul, some like punk bands with like 22-year-old kid. I don't know how old they were. We had like Gaian mystics who were there holding ceremony and like there's a long history of nasty stuff in space, and so kind of blessing that and trying to bring that back. We had some local art camps. Mezzopresso out of DC, Awesome Camp came and did like a food and tea space. I think you saw the picture of their art truck in the video. We had the Deadly Muppet Lounge. We had amazing bass DJs and like the dancing. We had this Water is Life mural that came and live painted. Actually didn't know they were coming. They just showed up. I was there setting up, and they were like showed up with their truck and started setting this up. I was like, who invited these guys? This is really cool. We had ecstatic dance. We had local story sharing. This beautiful mirror exhibit that John Walter brought down from New York. That's like the true mirrors where it flips so you actually see yourself the way that everyone else sees you, which was amazing to see folks coming by on Veterans Day weekend, engaging with that and trying to understand what was going on. A sound bath, and we saw the picture of that before, and of course the wonderful fire ceremony and effigy burn, which was definitely a labor of love this year. Roman will talk about that.
The election wasn't the only thing that caught us by surprise. Like a week, well, no, really 3 weeks before our event, we had the temple in with the dimensions for quite some time. The park said, wait, you're going to burn something bigger? Like, holy crap, like we're sweating, our superiors are not going to allow this. So they put a huge block on our temple burn, kind of at the last minute. And the temple's the heart of our event, right? And the heart of our healing. And so really that was a gut check moment for us. Like, what are we going to do? We talked long and hard as a board. We are non-violent, we're non-oppositional. The whole event is about being inclusive and not us versus them. And at the same time, we felt that we had a right in trying to burn this temple and celebrate and heal cathartically through it. So after we discussed as a board, the decision was made to take this fight to court. And I ended up going with Michael as my lead witness to federal court the day before the temple was set to be burned and arguing our case, our First Amendment case. We ended up losing in a preliminary ruling that has no precedent for future rulings. On a preliminary basis, the judge said that she didn't think that this was going to be a First Amendment violation to turn the temple, to reduce the temple size and make us burn something smaller. However, even though we weren't able to burn the temple, we were able to get a compromise from the National Park Service to continue to burn effigies of a smaller size. So, and the media had a field day. The media had a field day with it, and that's okay because the lesson there is that the media, if you guys do events like this, the media is going to think what they're going to think, and there were a lot of other really positive articles, and if you read this article, it's actually quite positive. The headline is what it's going to be. In the end, though, it all worked out. And we had not one, but 3 beautiful effigies that were turned around in an unbelievable short amount of time by our amazing temple team, led by Michael Verdon. They represented the sun, the moon, and an egg to represent catharsis through the passage of time. Now, sometimes you need time as a crucial ingredient to catharsis. And the burn was beautiful. It was every bit as beautiful as the year before, and we had the temple of rebirth in the background, sort of illuminated by the fire. And the beautiful part about it was that our permit actually went through the next Tuesday. So thousands more tourists were able to visit the temple that hadn't burned down yet. So again, the lesson for us there is that with experimenting with new things, we're going to get no's, we're going to take losses, even unexpectedly, but never to take that as the final answer and to look for the yes on the side of it. So what's there for the future? What's next, Adam?
Well, really, Why don't we just jump up to the theme because we're running out of time.
Yeah, so we're really excited. We've chosen here at the GLC to announce for the first time our art theme and political theme for 2017. So we've really seen in DC the last couple of months, and I think this is around the country too, the burnout and the struggle and everyone trying to figure out how to make sense of just everything that's been going on nationally. And folks that are really involved in a lot of activism and politics and stuff, there's really a resurgence of like, how do we deal with this personally? How do we deal with this in our communities? So we're trying to address that with our theme this year and really create that space of catharsis. So what we're going with this year is a theme of nurturing the heart. And really taking that space. And again, it's not about activism. It's about what do we need to do for ourselves? What do we need to do for our communities? And how can we engage in that in a real way? That's not about distraction or getting caught up in the fight. Politically, we think that this theme really resonates as well. There's a lot of amazing restorative justice work that's happening around the country right now. I don't know how many folks are turned into that, but we've got some great stuff going on in DC with the NEAR Act and highlighting local activists with Black Lives Matter and other groups that are really fighting for doing that nurturing in their communities rather than being a kind of police state. And here in Oakland, I believe there's a program as well. It's happening all over the country. So we're really excited about talking about that, highlighting that, as well as gender equality issues, and particularly working with queer and trans groups, as well as, of course, women's rights, and bringing those things. And we've got some exciting art to talk about that. Yeah, so the event this year is November 11th through 13th, is that right? Yeah, November 11th through 13th on, I think you probably know where it is. But yeah.
Because that date actually can change. We're still in the permit negotiation.
Yeah, so we're really excited about engaging more with local communities with that this year as well, and putting a focus on how can we bring non-burners in more than just passersby on the street, but actually involve them in the planning. Actually, what can we learn from them? Because a lot of those communities have a lot that we can learn from, as well as how can we spread our culture. And it was amazing this year, a lot of the musicians and speakers that we brought in that had no context for burner culture, that were just totally blown away. Completely blown away by the energy, by the people that they met, and were like, we've never seen anything like this before. What is this? How can we be involved next year? Really incredible. So, yeah.
Pass the mic, here we go. So, we are inviting everyone here to come. If you have a theme camp, we call it a tenstellation. You might not camp there, you might not sleep there, but you can be there 24 hours a day if you want. This is a vigil, we're there all night, we're doing it again. I want to invite everybody who owns an art car, big or small, mutant vehicle, let me get that right, mutant vehicle. If you have a mutant vehicle, we've created a space where you can bring it and showcase this, and you can really control the space around your installation or your mutant vehicle. So it's decentralized, there is no main stage for the event. So please come back. I know the Catharsis is coming back this year. And these are self-financed, okay, so you should know that. We do provide a lot of logistical support and electricity. I wanted to also bring up our major, ambitious goal. We really need your help, actually. So, actually, we're about a third of the way there in pledges to bring this. And so this is, if you know someone who's inspired by this art in particular and wants to have this facing the White House, okay, literally facing the White House. Our evolution is
with the Bush Project, we're really excited about this vision too. They called it right away, and we're going for it. You know, and we already flew this by the Park Service last year, and so far they are okay with it. So this is our goal. This is the goal. This is the future, and we want to make that statement. It fits perfectly with our theme and what's really needed in development now. Before we close, I just want to also acknowledge the Burning Man organization for the support and guidance that they've given us throughout the way. Since before the event even first happened in 2015, they've been guiding us in how we fit exactly in the Burning Man universe, how to message, how to interact with the press. I got a lot of legal support support from Ray Allen, the General Counsel of Rosalie Barnes. Kim Cook came out and gave a great keynote address from Abraxas this past year. So thank you very much for supporting this experiment and pushing the envelope with us. Obviously, we're not a sanctioned regional burn, and we're not even a burn. We're a Burning Man affiliated, inspired event. Language is important.
How do you find you online?
CatharsisOnTheMall.com. CatharsisOnTheMall.com, and there is a donation page there for those who are asking.
It's a tax deductible donation. If we have it is. MAPS, the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, is our fiscal sponsor. And we can complain to this guy because he's technically the controller of the LLC.
Which by agreement is board operated and board managed. We have an 8-member board right now, and by agreement, all the decisions are majority voted by the board, everything that happens with the policy. So, all right, we're gonna turn it over to questions now, but before I do, thank you all for listening. And again, the bigger picture here is, as great as our event is, what we hope is that you all will catch this vision with us and bring the Catharsis beauty and just the culture of this wonderful community to your public squares, to your city centers, and really show up and be part of this story with us. So we hope we've inspired you to do that. So, Josh, I don't think we're translated right now.
Yeah, so the question was, is the website or other materials in languages besides English? The answer is no. That's a great question. Thank you. Yeah, part of our process definitely is looking at accessibility issues, how we can be inclusive in those ways. So thank you.
Who wants to volunteer to translate?
Yes. Who wants to volunteer to translate? Come talk to us afterwards. Yeah, thanks. Other questions?
You guys kicked ass yet?
Sweet. The question was, you guys kicked ass, man. Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's a Leave No Trace event for sure. And the 10 principles are on our website. We talk about them openly. We want people to actually not be able to find a trash can. That's like part of this situation. The space was very clean the entire event, although after Saturday night, we had a bit of a mess to clean up on Sunday morning. But we chipped in, and when the Park Service showed up with their garbage trucks, expecting a mess like the 4th of July, because you should see it on the 4th of July, it's a mess afterwards. They were like, this place is so tidy, and you have everything separated already, and they just started taking it for us. They actually did a lot of our waste removal for us, which was not in the plan. Any other questions?
How much is it going to cost to bring Truth is Beauty to the mall?
How much will it cost to bring our current estimate is $120,000. And last year's entire event budget, including the Abraxas, was around $50,000. And we think about 10,000 people passed through and participated over the 5 days that we were there. And I didn't get to mention it since no one's waiting in line for questions. That election night, we were the sanctuary for people. People were days, and they were, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, we're building a temple, and then almost immediately, the temple became the sounding board for how people felt about the election.
Do you expect any challenges for 2017? Is that you already foresee?
Super smooth from here on out. It is a.
We had to send letters to the regional director. We did a whole campaign at one point when it looked like they're going to deny the temple, they're going to deny a lot of it. And so we had an event, and everyone wrote letters, handwritten letters, and talked about how the previous year was healing for them. And they got these, and so the regional director took this very seriously. This was a secular human spiritual experience protected by the First Amendment. So it's both political and it's also religious spiritual without non-denomination. So really, people who are atheists can feel like they're having a spiritual experience. And I think that's what Burning Man does for a lot of atheists.
Another quick note, we're considering whether we're going to continue our legal battle, so it's kind of paused with 2016, and it's unclear if we're going to do that this year or not. We're trying to figure out strategically. But certainly, anyone that's interested in pro bono legal support on this kind of stuff, or specifically like being expert witness on like fire safety and things like that, that's something that would actually be very helpful. So if people have expertise in that, we would love to talk to you. Here.
If you had a dream of what you would like to see happen in other cities, what would that look like?
What would you like to see in your city? Where are you from? All right, so what would this look like in Houston? I mean, it's all about what the energy is and what the organic expression is, right? Like in DC, our activists work as a team and as an organization in the history of activism, not just from DCMJ, but from a lot of the Burnham community and the integrated community there is what helped create this event to be what it is with the message that it has. It's got to be organic and authentic. So I would just say, if this inspires you, burning art in the public square is inspiring, and what is your city's expression? So the question is, how do we convince them to lighten their fear on fire? Well, the first we did our research, and we did show them that there have been burns on the national mall, both sanctioned and unsanctioned in the past. And there was one relatively recently, actually in 2012, for the Keystone XL tribal resistance protest, which we were able to show them was sanctioned. It was smaller, but we set a precedent there. And then we wrote out like extensive burn safety policies and met with the Parks Department and the fire department. You know, weeks on that, months on that. The DC Fire Department had to come in and tell the Park Service, yes, this is safe, yes, we can do this. We had a brush fire truck on hand. We had multiple inspections done. So it's a process like any other.
Effigy burn, and it went really well. Right now, it's more of a political issue, I think, than a internal politics issue than necessarily a safety issue, and that's why we're hopeful that in the future we'll be able to continue to burn larger art here. Are we getting the cue? I'm not sure. I have no idea where the cue is coming from, so. Okay, all right. We're getting the cue that we need to wrap it up. I'm sorry, y'all. Please come find us afterward. You show up. It's totally free. Show up to the National Mall.
No, we have a listserv, and please go to the website and sign up if you really are interested. And we will be sending out information in the coming months about how you register as a theme camp or a tenstellation. There is a little bit of jurying going on. We need to see what you're bringing ahead of time. And there are restrictions with the grass that you heard about earlier. But we figured out a way around it. And really, this event could have 1,000 small things going on at once. It is designed for that. So we really encourage you to come. And we love you all for having us here. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll post in the Jackrabbit about when we have stuff up for calls.